wasn't quite sure what to expect the first time I came here, but it was just such an amazing experience. And I think from a perspective of the average Joe surfer who surfs regularly, this was super valuable because I was able to take all these experiences back home and be a better surfer.
We've been here a couple times, and each time we come back, there's a real sense of eagerness, I think, on our part, because we know what we're getting into with the food, the massages, the stretching, the great coaching, beautiful part of the world. And everyone is super welcoming, makes you really feel like part of the family.
You have to really surrender to all the experiences. I'm not a spiritual person in any way, but I guess one of the things I do like is that we all come in this with some kind of common goal, even though we're all at different levels of surfing capability and different backgrounds.
Fantastic week. I mean, this place has become like family.
I was a teenager when I bought my first boogie board up in New York. My mom took me to the surf shop. I remember the whole experience vividly. And surfing has been just such a big part of my life. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you. This is another great thing about the week.
Esta es la segunda vez que hago surf y la primera fue acá, hace 3 años, así que venía como pensando que nada me iba a salir y nada, me encontré con Gabriel, que es espectacular, y no sé, el primer día ya estábamos adentro y estuvo buenísimo.
I thought it was a super fun activity that Tim and I could do together, and he was quite already obsessed with it, and I thought I needed to catch up real quick.
I actually feel like I really started surfing the first time I came here, because one of the things about Surf Simply, for me anyway, is I feel like I progress like a year in a week.
I got invited by Tim, and I kind of was just like, that sounds like an awesome opportunity, but I thought that that 24 surfing might be something a little late for me to pick up as a hobby, but I had the opportunity to really improve. And I think that's probably the coolest part about it, is that it knows no age limits.
About the time when I turned 50 years old, I was like, I love this so much and I want longevity in surfing. I surf with people in a wide age range, and so I had to find something else that would help me get better. Yeah, the whole thing was I wanted longevity. I wanted to become a better surfer, and that's how I found the coaching thing.
Guiones always has great conditions, but what was interesting about this week is we had all sorts of waves. Like the beginning of the week was relatively kind of longboarding week, longboarding conditions, which is super fun to work on. And then obviously the past couple of days have gotten pretty intense, which was also super fun, but in different ways, more survival, make the drop and try to survive. But it was super fun. And having Derek out there was awesome. I've never worked with him before. He's really positive guy, absolutely hilarious, really fun to be with in the water, but also really helpful, especially when the conditions got a bit more critical.
Gabriel fue genial, súper atento, súper cuidadoso, un buen instructor, porque cada cosita que él me fue diciendo la podía hacer, y si no estaba atento me llevaba para cazar las olas. Siempre me puso como en el punto justo, en la X, para que la pueda agarrar bien. Hay algo que me encanta, que es un deporte que para mí es súper challenging. Estar ahí afuera casi que me da miedo, pero no, y en ese momento somos el agua, yo y mi coach, que esté siempre cerquita mío. Las olas están súper grandes, bueno, no importa, pero Gaby, ¿puedo? Sí, dale, vamos.
My coach was Ollie, who is really fun, but more specifically, keep working on my stance, which is getting, also tighter and better and more aligned. Shuffling my feet a bit to make sure I'm in the right spot. But most importantly for me, I've done quite a few curving turns and turning to the beach, and I'm sort of started to do cutbacks, which is I never even understood what that was until I think this week.
You think of it as being kind of a simple thing, just board and wave equals ride, but finding out that there were a lot more nuances to it, discover the terminology and stuff, and being able to kind of ask the dumb questions, but being comfortable with the coach such that, Will was very much able to tell me at times left or right when I was literally that clueless.
This week I had Teal. She's a badass. What I like is that they set some expectations at the beginning of the week, but they're really adaptive to variables throughout the week. They're willing to adjust the program to navigate through the week based on the conditions and how you're feeling and what you're doing. And Teal really knew how to apply just enough pressure to make it challenging, but also to make it still fun. I'm a trainer, so I watch the way the other coaches interact with the other guests, and I really, really appreciated what they were doing and the fact that there was consistent messaging throughout the group and how adaptive the coaches were to helping other guests surf as well as myself. So it was just a really cool experience, and that's really an element that the average surfer doesn't get exposed to. You just go surfing. You're not used to having somebody who's watching you and evaluating you.
The video analysis is probably the coolest part, I think, because it's easy to kind of keep in mind, maybe I didn't do this quite right or quite wrong.
Las clases sin el videoanálisis no sé cómo funcionan porque es tan importante poder verse, ¿no? Y te ves a vos haciendo una cosa y después aparece el video de algún coach haciéndolo como debe ser y te queda clarísimo.
Absolutely love it. I wasn't aware of what I was doing, so being able to see it on video again and again and again and start to kind of put it all in my mind in a more clear way has been absolutely the key to being able to progress.
The video is so damn honest. I think that's one of the biggest challenges for me, is watching the video and you think, you're ripping, and then you see a video and you're like, oh my God. But then you work on it and you improve, and then you compare it to the next day. It's fantastic. And the way the coaches use the technology is great too. Their ability to take a wave that you surfed and use another surfer, whether it's a coach or a pro surfer or somebody who's notable, and do a comparison with the two videos. That's a fantastic thing. It's a really cool thing to do. I like it.
Surf Simply es como una familia de una semana. Una familia que se quiere y se trata bien, te hacen sentir súper bien. Todos sonríen, todo es buena onda. Te felicitan por las cosas que fuiste haciendo, siempre alguien te dice algo. Y estar acá se siente como estar en casa, pero sin el trabajo de estar en casa.
For us, it's a community. Everybody we met here who has, works at Surf Simply or has worked at Surf Simply, they've become a part of our, little tribe.
I always find it interesting that you have unique peoples with different backgrounds in different spaces, and when we share this common thing and people get comfortable with each other, they share their stories. And it's always amazing to hear everybody's story and what they do outside of this experience this week that they took out of their life to go surf. There was some great connectivity with the group. I really enjoy that aspect of it. And it's a very open, culturally diverse group, people from different countries, which I really like. I knew a couple of the guests already, so that made it even more fun. But yeah, I think I have to say that's part of the experience. Although I come to surf and eat, that is really one of the main driving factors for me to come back. What am I taking home? 5 extra pounds, for sure. A little bit of a sunburn. And generally, what I'm really most excited about taking home are some of the new relationships, the new connections that I have with some people, and some new surfing skills to work on. I mean, that's the foundation for me. I want to be able to surf for a very long time. And this will definitely launch me into that next thing, that longevity.